Hi everybody and welcome to this 10-day 20-minute Yin Yoga challenge with me. My name is Hannah. I am a certified Yin Yoga instructor, and I started to get into the practice a few years ago when I noticed the benefits. Firstly, I had a lot of physical misalignments within my body. I do a lot of physical Yin style activities, and I needed some relief on my muscles and my joints, so I started to attend some Yin Yoga classes. Of course, it gave me that physical relief, but to my surprise, it also gave me a lot of mental clarity. So those are two things that are really tied in together. Yin Yoga helps heal the body from the inside out, to the mind, to the spirit. It's a beautiful practice, so I'm so excited that you're here today, embarking on this journey with me. We are going to start in a shoelace position. So we're going to get into our hips. So we're going to cross our right leg over our left. So we're going to try to stack these knees over each other. So try to stack it the best you can. Of course, they don't have to be in perfect alignment. If you do have props nearby, you might want to use a block underneath the leg here. And if you're feeling sensation here and maybe even looking for more, grab onto the tops of your feet. Pulling those feet back with the hands, creating a bit more compression. And you also might want to fall over your legs here. Starting to feel this into the right glute, even into the right hip flexors. Taking nice long deep breaths as we ease into this posture here. Feeling free to close your eyes during this practice. Yin Yoga is a very meditative practice, so closing the eyes and going inward may help alleviate some of the distractions that you're feeling or sensations. And this practice is all about focusing on that breath. So just ensuring that you're inhaling through the nose, maybe exhaling through the mouth. Finding complete relaxation in the body. We are more than halfway there. In this practice, we hold poses between 1 to 10 minutes, depending on the posture, depending on the length of the class. For the sake of these 20-minute videos, we'll be holding poses between 1 to 5 minutes. Less than a minute here. Noticing how that glute is feeling. Maybe it feels a little better. Maybe you've let go some of that tension that you've stored in there. When we're first getting into our postures, you might feel a lot of sensation that could feel overwhelming. But as we gradually get to the end of the pose, you might feel that your body is starting to open up a little bit more, and it gets easier. It gets easier, of course, with time and of course with your breath, letting you know that you're okay. Just a few more breaths here. Beginning to lift your body up if you are hunched over those hips. Slowly getting out of the posture. Never want to get out super fast out of these postures. But it's always good to take a little bit of movement, since we are so static in these poses, before going to our next posture. So as you guessed it, we're going to go right to the other side. So this time our right leg is going to be underneath, and we're going to stack our left hip and try to get those knees aligned the best you can. Taking a nice long cleansing breath. Maybe holding onto the tops of those feet. Maybe using a block here again to help. Or maybe even falling over the hips. Feeling that compression on the left glute and hip flexor. Noticing if there's a difference on this side versus your right. It is completely normal. Just being the observer of your own body. Starting to learn where you're holding on to tension. Which sides store more. Focusing on that breath. Inhaling any positive, loving energy you're looking to call in. Bringing that into the tight hips, into the tight glutes. And on those exhales, letting go of anything that no longer serves you, letting go of that tension. Sinking deeper and deeper into the posture with each breath. Just about halfway there. In this practice, we focus on targeting our connective tissue and our fascia. That's where our joints, our bones, and ligaments lie. It's hard to get into those places, and they really don't like to stretch. So that's why we do hold these poses for extended periods of time. And we also want to do this by not moving our body too much either. Of course, it's your own practice. If you feel uncomfortable in any way, please get out of the posture. But in order to correctly target our connective tissue, we do want to stay very, very still. If you're just moving because of discomfort or thoughts in your mind, that's the difference between the actual pain. So just noticing the difference between those sensations that you're feeling and just sticking with it, knowing that these moments are only temporary. You're almost there. Beginning to push yourself up with your hands if you're hunched over those legs. Slowly coming out of the posture. So we just accomplished our shoelace posture. On each side again, maybe taking some windshield wipers. Just moving the legs here. Coming back into a seated posture. When you're ready, legs crossed. We're just going to take a simple spinal twist. So we're going to start by putting our left hand onto our right kneecap. We're going to use our hand behind us and walk it and turn our heads facing to the back of you. Maybe feeling this posture into the upper right shoulder blade. And definitely down the spine as we're doing a spinal twist here. Spinal twist, of course, target your spine and then also a lot of other areas in the body. Spinal twists are so good for you. They're so good for your digestion in your body. They actually get into the discs and vertebrates in the spine, massaging them. So nice deep breaths here. Closing the eyes here if you wish. Finding some internal peace. Just going to be here for another minute. Making sure you're not holding your breath. I'll catch myself even doing that sometimes when something feels like a lot of discomfort. I'll hold my breath, which is not helping at all. So reminding yourself to breathe. That makes it so much easier and helps your body let go even deeper and deeper. This practice is all about letting go and not holding on to things that no longer serve you. Just a few more breaths here. Beginning to remove your left hand from your right knee, coming back to center. Taking a moment here, maybe taking a cleansing breath, finding a moment of stillness. Maybe rolling those shoulders back or forward. And taking it right to the other side. So using your right hand to cup your left knee, walking your opposite hand behind you. Feeling the sensations in the left upper shoulder blade and down the spine once again. Remembering that each moment that passes is temporary. The good and the bad, just staying in this present moment here. It's the only moment that we truly have, so enjoying it. Enjoying yourself, nourishing your body, and giving yourself this gift and time to heal from the inside out. Just a minute left to go. Back to center. Again, taking some movement here if it feels good. Starting to get back into that lower body here. So we're going to do a straddle pose or dragonfly pose. So both legs out as wide as you can. Feeling that sensation already, I'm sure, within those hamstrings, within the groin area. If you have blocks, you can place them in front of you, maybe putting your forearms on them. And if not, if this feels good for you, using your hands, coming to the floor, maybe resting your forearms, maybe just resting your hands, maybe coming all the way down onto the mat. Find your own edge. So in Yin Yoga, we focus on finding our own unique edge. Everybody is different. We're all at different levels. So don't compare yourself to your neighbor, to what someone else is doing. It's really important on focusing on your own edge and not pushing yourself too much in these postures. Because this practice isn't about pushing yourself. It's about feeling sensation, and that means that you're doing it right. So if you feel a sensation, you're doing it correctly. With time, gravity does do the work for us. As we breathe, as we let go, our body naturally lets go. So we don't have to push ourselves and overdo it. So focusing on finding that edge every time you get into a yin posture, that should be your thought. Am I feeling sensation? If yes, you are succeeding. And again, like I said, we don't want to move too much or get out of the posture while we are sitting in these postures for these extended periods of time. So if you push yourself too much, you're going to want to get out of the posture. So again, that's not the correct way to do it. So listen to your body and to your mind and what it's okay with at this moment. We are already halfway there, hopefully feeling an opening here. Focusing on that breath as always. Focusing on the breath, going into the inner hips and creating some space there for you. Letting go on those exhales, surrendering to it all. Surrendering to everything in life. Change is ever happening and a constant. Just learning to surrender is going to be a great gift, and such a great gift and lesson of yoga. And beginning to slowly come out of the posture. Amazing job. Slowly again, bringing the legs back together. Taking a little bit of movement and then heading right into our next pose, which is a child's pose. So we're going to sit back on the heels, slightly move our legs away from each other. And we're going to walk those hands in front of us. Pressing our foreheads into the mat. This is an amazing pose to end the practice in. Right as we're nearing the end here. Should be feeling some sensations in the upper back and shoulders, down the back, maybe even into the hips. We're all going to feel in different places depending on where we hold stress or where we're getting that physical impact on our body. Are more than halfway there. Checking in with the mind, noticing if any of your thoughts have kept flowing during this practice. Checking in now, noticing that, giving yourself permission to slow down, to just stay in this moment and save those thoughts for later. Like I mentioned, every moment is temporary and there's a time and place for that in the future, but focusing on this present moment. Taking one last final cleansing breath here. Walking those hands back up. Just feeling that release here. And then when you're ready, coming on to your back. Our last final resting pose, Shavasana. So all you have to do here is rest. Letting your arms and your legs fall to the side. Maybe putting your palms facing up to be in a more receiving mode. Noticing how the body is feeling. Noticing the difference from when you first started till now. How's the mind feeling? Checking in here. And letting yourself breathe. Starting to wiggle the toes and fingers here, bringing some life back into the body. And when you're ready, coming back up onto your mat and seated posture, how we started. Putting your hands up overhead, one last final breath together, and then bringing your hands to heart center, thanking yourself for this beautiful practice today. From my heart to yours, namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. It was my honor and pleasure to teach you today. I'm excited for the next 10 days in this course. I'm looking forward to seeing you again.